Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
You can see what I like to trade during this session. I like the indices now. Some of you that have been following me for the last little bit would say, oh, but you're the Forex guy. You like Forex and wedges. Hey, listen, in the most recent times, the indices have been playing very, very nicely, and it's been good. I don't have any alerts right now, but we can take a look at some still. What do we got? GU on the 4-hour, Malik? All right. Ashley, we're going to address your question in a little bit about the money zone, okay? The money zone, let's go check GU on the 4-hour. I am not a 4-hour swing guy because I'm not that patient. I like in and out, but let's go see GBP USD. That's what it was, right? GU? Yeah. Just making sure we're all on the same page. GBP USD. I don't have my chart set up as I like, but we'll do it this way. How about that? How about I show you guys how to do the new AIRO setup. So when you go in here, you go into blackout, you black out your screen. You then take your AIRO dashboard, drag and drop, because it is an expert advisor. You can use all 28 pairs. If you want to use more than 28 pairs, you do need to go in and if you want to see more, you can have a second box open, a second chart layout with different pairs like I have. So first, most important thing, if you don't click these, you're going to have a problem. You're not going to get any results here. So let's go check this out. Someone likes the swing trading. Now here, this is a part that a lot of people miss. If you want to know, if you want AIRO to open up on the chart, when you double click on it, oh, and the other part, if you want the total number of ADR for the last 10 days, so 2 weeks, it actually brings a more realistic view of what's going on. So here we go. You guys ready? This seems like tic-tac-toe. So let's do GU real quick first. So GU on the 4-hour. Let's zoom out. Let's work this as it's a bag, okay? There's no bounce, no trade right away. We're counter trend. There's no appetite here. Hope that makes sense. So green, 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 green. You got about 8 green zones. You're actually in a retracement of the top of that move here. So I would actually be looking for a buy. So if you do have a turnaround, if you do have an up arrow, then I would be looking for a buy on GU. I would be going long. There's not enough bias to go short for this, because if you put a Fibonacci from this run up, you're probably going to see that this is a 38% retracement of this entire run. 23.6, 38.2. Excuse me. So no trade. Good thing to check out though. Thank you for that. Euro USD looking up for a melt on what time frame, Josh? What are we talking about? We need, if you're going to specify something, I need a little bit more details so I know right away. So time frame and direction. And if you're asking to look at something else, just give me a heads up so I can understand. It just helps me coordinate everything and look for some more potential trade setups. Jackie's the one who got me into the indices. She's such an angel. I learned so much from her. And her guidelines are do not trade the indices before market opens because there's just not enough volume there. So Usually my hair doesn't look this way, so I apologize in advance. I just wanted to start the session on time, so. Euro US, I need to know what time frame. So send the question back in with the time frame. Oh, sure, Carrie, I would love to. So let's check the money zone hours, okay? The money zone does not change, okay? Let's get this straight. The money zone does not change, no matter where you are in the world. The last couple of weeks have been weird because we had daylight savings time, so that screwed quite a bit of things up, to be honest. But now that we're outside of that and we're kind of adjusted, we're pretty much good. Okay. So we'll look at that later, Josh. So money zone, we're looking at, it's a 12-hour period, more or less, and it's going to be from 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, anyway, for me, all the way till the 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But myself, I don't trade past like 11:30. Market gets really slow, so I'm not trading around that time. And there are certain times that you don't trade certain currency pairs. So in the session that you're trading, you want to trade those currency pairs that are moving. Here's a little tip. So you see Aussie NZD. That is not a currency pair that's going to move very much in the New York session. It's a Australian Kiwi. It's going to be an Asian session pair. You see the ADR over the last 10 days has been 43. Well, it's moved 30 of the 43, which means there's about maybe 10 pips movement left. Aussie US, it's exceeded its ADR for the last couple days, and from the daily open, it's already gone 44 pips. So that's how you can interpret these signs here, these numbers. Okay, so we got some alerts. Let's go check GBP NZD. That one, we're looking at a bounce. So we're going to zoom out. I'm going to go out. We're in a downtrend. So 1, 2, 3. We got a green zone down here. It's pretty far. And let's go check the width. See if we got enough room. And then, yeah, I would take this for 10. So let's go. I just want to show you one more thing. This is actually going to move pretty good. So let's do, it doesn't have enough room for me to go the full, for all the pips, but let's go. So rule of thumb generally is going to be for every 1,000, for every $100, you can use 0.01, but we actually have a calculator that's going to work really good. So I'm going to take this one short. And then when I go into here, I'm going to modify, right? So generally, as a rule of thumb, it's 40, a 40 pip stop loss and a 20 pip take profit. And MetaTrader 4 is actually 200 points. And that way you see where that stop loss is. It's way up here. It's on top of this low. I'm really not worried about that. Just from a price action perspective, I actually like this. So this is lowering my risk because I don't see it coming. I'm just going to check my other charts real quick, see what we see here. Let's see. You know what I love so much about the system that we're using here, this great AIRO tool, is that you can add other other facets to it. So you can add trend lines, and you can add wedges, and you can add different indicator tools. So I'll show you what I mean. So this is the trend line. I like this. And the reason I do is because this is the candle that breaks it to the downside. And then I like this. You see, that third hit on a trend line is always going to be a good trade. That's always a trade that you can take. Once this support becomes resistance, that's a powerful indicator. Okay. So from a take profit perspective, that's pretty far. I forget if I put the regular one or whatnot, but let's go from there. So this is the bounce, right? This is the bounce. This is the arrow. You don't have any opposing zones in there. And the reason I'm going for half is because I don't think it's a higher probability trade to take it here, where this original run is, than it is to go and try to get it to challenge there. Let's check it out. Answer live. All right, let's get to some questions real quick while we sit on this one. Fibbo tool. Okay, great. Check this out. So let's do insert indicators. Fibonacci. I don't use MT4 that much. I'm a trading view guy. You see how it retraced beyond the 61.8%? That's a good sign, because that means it's a very deep retracement of this full move. So you go from the origination of the move, the bottom of the swing, to the top of the swing, and then you can have an idea of like how deep it could potentially go. The deeper it goes, after it gets to like 61.8, 50, 61.8, it's a good option. Most of the time, it means that it's probably going to continue going lower. Higher probability that it continues going lower, then it comes back up. So, but I can show you a little bit more on my MT4 here. I just need to log into another system. Give me a sec. Here. There we go. Just a little bit. Trying to get another system up and running. Oh yeah, let's do that, Daniela. So in order to open up your stop loss and take profit, all you do is you go down here, you right click, and you modify your order. In this zone, you can put, so if I want a 40 pip stop loss and a 20 pip take profit, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 200 points and 400 points, and then I'm going to put copy and copy. Now, if you're trading an indice, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same at all, because it moves differently, and the way that pips are counted are a little bit different. So the value of the pip changes, but the definition of the pip doesn't. So it gets a little bit shaky. Let's put it that way. I still only do targets. So here we are. We're still going. I hope that answers your question, Daniela. I'm not sure what if there was something specific around that. Oh, Carrie. Okay. So let's do that again. Let's do that again. Here, I really don't like MetaTrader 4 because it's pretty antiquated. It's an old platform. And the reason I don't like it is because I have access to something way better than MetaTrader 4. But for the sake of this, we'll try to stick to MetaTrader 4. Where is the option to delete? Here, we're going to go to indicator list. No, hold on a sec, guys. Sorry. Objects list. So we scroll down. We look for Fibbo. And we delete. So we're up 4 pips already. GBP NZD. 4 pips in the green. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Thanks for that. That'll be easier next time instead of going into the properties there. It's taking its sweet time here. Not a fan of how long it's taken to get down there, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll double click on it next time. Sometimes it's not easy. I like TradingView much better. So hopefully we get the green light to use AIRO on TradingView in the not too distant future. All right, let's go check it out. I'll go do another example of the Fibbo later on. GN's ADR for the last 5 days. What are we looking at? Well, sorry, allergy season. So GBP NZD's ADR for the last couple days, that last 10 days. This is going to give you an idea if it can move. Here, probably not going to move very much. There's only 10 pips until the average daily range for today. So it's probably done most of its movement. Let's see what we got. It may, if there's a green zone that pops up here, I'm going to close the trade because you don't want to be trading through a green zone. Opposite colored zone is going to be a problem. So sticking to the guns for right now. Let's go see that we got another setup potentially. GBP NZD. I don't like the 4 hour. Carrie, you're funny. Yeah, I have appetite to look at S&P. Let's go check. On S&P, I always take it on the 1 minute. That's where I feel comfortable. This one should actually only be 10 pips. So as soon as it hits 10 pips, I'm out of there. Here's your S&P. Let's get a good idea of where S&P is going today. So I'm actually going to zoom out. Oh, there it was. There's the 10. We're good. One more time. Give me 10. Boom. 10. Game over. All right. That's just the little demo account. I got the other account on the phone. All right, so let's take a quick look at this. What do we got? S&P did a big deep dive. It did not make it into that green zone. We don't have any arrows on the 15, so now we're kind of looking up. I like it to the upside better. So let's go see what the 5 says. 5 says we're in the zone. We don't got no arrow. right? As the price crosses above the arrow moving average, the bars are then going to start turning green. You see how they're above and they're green, and now they're under and they're red. When it closes under, then it's red. So let's go see the 1 minute. I'm going to try to find a nice setup for you guys. Let's get this skip ad. Let's see. Let's go see S&P. You see how it started going green? So that's good. You got an arrow, bounce, bounce, arrow. Let me go see if we can do something here. I'm going to use a couple other indicators as well. S&P 5, we got 1 minute. That left a big wick. That's a big wick on the 5. Don't like it. I actually like it to the downside more right now. Let's see if we can do something here. Let's try this. How about that? Let's do... breaks above here and it closes, then that's good for me, but it could be a trap. Let me go check this out. Something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. This is cool. One-click trading. Oh, that's a big lot size for S&P. I probably shouldn't have done that. I forgot to change it. Let me check what my margin is on this. Sorry, I have it hidden behind my monitor. What I was doing is I was waiting for it to break above here. So what it did is this line that was once resistance is now appears to become support. And when I take profit on this one, we're gonna do we're not gonna go 200, because if I put 200, then it's gonna go 76 4, and I don't want that. I just want this one right here. Ready? Wait a bit. Wait a bit. Wait a bit. Boom. That's all she wrote. That was happy for me because now we're through the zone. Some people can carry it longer if they want. I got my pips. This is actually, you see how we were counter trend, like hard counter trends on the 1 minute. I want to show you this on TradingView. It probably still has a little bit of gas. It's probably going to start stalling around here and consolidating. I just wanted the nice clean run, and then I'll go look for another setup. Just be aware that if you're trading S&P, you need a little bit more capital because the margin requirements are pretty significant. So I'll show you on the S&P here. I'll get rid of all my other indicators. I'll clean it up a little bit so that everyone can see. My setup is not optimized for video. I just figured I'd show my face so you can put a face to a name. I really should have fixed my hair though, but whatever. That's pretty powerful, guys. That's a big reach. So let's clean all this stuff up. I just want to do some drawing on here. Okay. So what I was looking at was a breach of this. Because here's your price channel. Here's actually, I'm just trying to draw some lines here. I have an idea. Yeah, this will do. Okay. This is actually a pretty good trend line. So this is what Al and myself would call a trap, because it breaks out of the bottom and people think it's going to continue going down, right? But it doesn't. So that's why when you have a trap, you wait until it breaks that trend line here, and then you can take it for this length. Now, reality is this. There is a possibility that this move gets extended to up here. Not this candle in particular, okay? But it could take all morning to get up to there, where it is now. It's just this is a little, it's still a pretty strong overall downtrend. So if we actually went to the 15-minute, I hope this kind of brings a little bit of clarity. I don't want to draw too many lines. I'm going to put one more here just so you can see what I see. You want to see where it stopped? So here it breached a little bit. And here we got a little bit of a breach. And here it broke it and it came back up and it said, "Hey, how are you?" And it took off again. So right here is actually, this is pretty interesting. I'll show you real quick. And then we'll see if we can get another setup here. And the Q&A is getting loaded. Oh yeah, good job then. You got the S&P melt. Well, so Noah, explain to me what you mean by overbought. At what time frame is it overbought? Are you talking about a daily or a 4-hour? So this looks like a whole bunch of stuff, but anyway, let's go check another look here. So here was that connection point. Here's that connection point. That's okay for me. That's a little bit more violation than I like, but how about that's better. I like this better. Because here, this is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for it to respect this trend line, even though it goes through it, it respects it here and here, which means this violation is just a little breakout. So let's see. It might still have some gas to the upside. I'm not sure. Just a sec here. only got 3 laptops going, so. Mosin, how are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Oh, the 4-hour top of the RSI for what? The S&P? So if you're swinging on S&P, excuse me. Here, for this sake, I'm going to remove that. Make it clear. Yeah, I'm not going to try to catch the top. I'm not going to say, oh, this is the top here. I'll show you something. One of my mentors taught me about pitchforks, named Steve Greger. Amazing when it comes to pitchforks, okay? So what you do is you look for a swing high and swing low on the time frame in question, and you try to swing the bottom or the top. You look for nice connection points. You see what I mean? Right here, this is good. You see how it stays within the channels? How it respected this bottom? This top here is going to be fine. It is a little breach, but this bottom here is more important to me, because I want to try to keep it as flat as possible. Now, putting this into perspective, putting the pitchfork, you can see that this is not the top of the run. Still got more gas to the upside. Probably. Right? I don't forecast or predict. I want to show you one more thing. You can call it Wedge Wednesdays, whatever you want to call it, but I want to show you the wedge that formed up here. Right? So you got to run up and you got a big wedge, which means it's probably going to continue in the direction that it was headed in the first place. So I would not try to sell this. I don't really use the RSI too much. I don't use it for the long situation there. Noah, it's going to take thousands of pitchforks before you can draw one like this. Just being honest, and it's just going to take time. Send me a couple, and I'll let you know if you drew them. Because look, this is what the 15-minute chart looks like. Okay, these lines on this pitchfork, they are strong. Okay, they are strong. So you see all the tags on these lines. Most of these are tradable. You know, when you get this break here, that's tradable. That's money. Now, if I, like, you can clearly see the consolidation pattern that's here, right? My magnet tool's on. So we're going to go back to AIRO in just a minute, but I just want to show you this from a higher perspective. See how it made a higher high and a higher low? That means the trend is up. I don't really want to drop this too low. If I drop this any lower, I don't know, about there, that makes sense to me. You could actually flatten it up here if you wanted. It's more like a channel, so forget that. Let's go take a quick look at the Q&A there. Yeah, you can draw this on anything here. You can draw pitchforks on anything. I'm just trying to get my other system up and running. Give me just a sec, guys. All right, cool. So let's go check some stuff out. The indicator for the pitchfork, it's called Andrew's pitchfork. It's also found on MT4. So the one that I drew on my chart is actually called, we call it a Gregor best fit, because it's not actually an Andrews pitchfork or the way that Alan Andrews would have drew his pitchfork per se. It's a modified version of it. So here's Andrew's pitchfork. You click there. In this scenario, I'm kind of looking for, you go from a swing low, just for the sake of this example, and a swing high. I don't even know how this is done here. My bad. There we go. Let me, I'm on the 1 minute. So let's go to a currency pair. Maybe there's going to be a nice alert somewhere. Let's check. Let's look for GCAD real quick. How about that? I'm going to go through here. Oh, the position size calculator. That is Mr. Al Mintman that found it the other day. I'm gonna get. Oh, here's Al. I'll bring over my friend, my trading buddy.
Hello.
Hi. How are you, my friend?
I was just laying in the laurels there.
Yeah. No, it's all good, man. It's just because we had a question around the.
I'll tell you what, let me go find it. Let me go find it, and then I will share my screen and show people how to do this. So give me a moment here, and
you know what? That's awesome. That's awesome. We'll do that. And then
it's in the back office, and there's a method of finding it, and there's a method of downloading it. So let me
perfect.
Let me do that, and I'll let you know when I'm ready.
That's awesome. So let's go. I'm going to continue going through this. We're going to see if we got another nice trade setup for our community here. 1 hour time frame. Okay, whatever.
I'm glad they reminded me, because I was going to do that in my session earlier, and I forgot to do it. And we got.
Oh, okay.
We got too busy taking trades.
Yeah. You see that that S&P, eh? Were you here during the S&P, or?
I saw it move. I didn't take the trade, but I saw.
Oh no, okay, yeah. I ended up taking that one there for a little bit. Oh, pound yen. Andre. Yeah, let me check this out. I just wanted to see here. No, we're in a green zone. GCAD. Let's go check what direction we're going. We're kind of in an uptrend. So if we have an up arrow, there might be enough room to take that. Oh, just a sec here. Okay. All right. Pound yen. Let's go check this out. Pound yen on the 4 hour. You guys are all sticking to the 4 hour, man. You guys are patient. I don't have that kind of patience. What we got? Pound yen. No bounce. Yeah, no bounce and nothing. So this is not something I would be looking at right now. If I get an up arrow, you're going to want to bet your bottom dollar that I'll be in an up arrow trend on a lower time frame, not a 4 hour. Right? I'm not entering this on a 4 hour trade. I don't have the the energy to. Let's put it that way. So you got GCAD, we've got NZD CAD. Well, let's go check the news. I almost forgot. So for news, we're gonna do. I actually really like MyFX book for news. Now I'll be contrary to what some other people use, but here's a heat map. There's the correlation tool. It's actually some pretty good stuff there. Then you go into economic calendar. And then, wait, get out of there. So, Canadian news coming up heavy in 10 minutes. So, oil will be affected by this. These are high impact news statements. Ignore that. You can ignore this. Crude oil change, whatever. Unless you're trading oil, then this is probably not going to hit you too hard. Biden is speaking again. That's surprising. Okay, anyway, no comment. And then you got FOMC. So be aware. The markets can move pretty dramatically during these during the 1:25 2 o'clock time frame. So after, if whatever happens by 11 o'clock, I'm done trading. I'll let the market fizzle out. And then if you're trading the London session tonight, be aware of the Japanese news. I don't know what this NSA thing is. And then for the rest of the week, I'm just checking to see. It's actually not that bad. Just the next little bit is going to be, this could be a little mover for the Canadian dollar. So that's probably why we're getting so many alerts for Canadian dollar currency pairs, CG CAD. I think it's the Australian that's tied to why is this not going? Have you guys had any alerts on any of the indices thus far today? Just trying to see. Well, I had a couple, but in the last I would say, see, I think I should have got that alert. Sometimes when I have two screens open, it causes some issues. Yeah, I have two dashboards open. So I have the ones for my currency pairs and the ones for my indices, crypto, and precious metals. See if we got something on German 30. German 30 has been paying out nicely, at least the last little bit. What are we looking at here? S&P. If I get a down arrow here, I'm in S&P. Let's see what the one minute says. Not surprised. Not surprised. German 30 has been really, really good. Chris, you're saying you had some challenges setting up your dashboard. Let me know. Send me a message in the group chat, and I'll try to get to you later on today when I have an opportunity. Oh, you have to customize it. So this dashboard is set up differently. Oh, look, we got the German 30 short. Come on now. Look at this. Boom, arrow. What do we got? We're going short. 2 seconds. Talk about that. One-click trading. And I'm not going to do the mistake with this one. This one likes to move quite a bit. So let's do sell. Not playing any games today, guys. Taking no prisoners. And this one, you'll need probably a pretty bigger size account. Well, let's see, German 30, where are you at? I'm gonna check it on my other system here. Try to find a target. That was really quick. So that's a bounce. That's your arrow. That's your go based on the rules. My stop loss on this, just so you guys have an idea, we're going to go to the top of this zone. So in this case, we're going to go adjust, modify. We're going to put, I should have probably just used one because you can see the, see my margin level used is $180. Let's check this out. We're going to go stop loss at up here, 15201. I'm just using the zone. I'm not doing exactly per se. And then down here, I'm going to go down to here. I'm not going to the next zone. So I'm going to do 15169, maybe. We'll see. Still a lot of downward pressure, so. You know what? I'm going to put it at the zone and at the bottom of the money zone, and then I will potentially adjust it later. If I see it start hesitating, then I'll get out. So 15,164. Get rid of the 7. Boom. So price comes back up here. I don't want to be in that trade. Hope that brings a little bit of insight. So here's something that I saw that made me want to jump into this trade. So German 30. This is on the 1 minute, so the trend line's not going to be great. I don't like it being so sloppy. See how fast it moves? Loves to move fast. That's why it's so tremendously profitable. All right, anyone who's had some major troubles with the instructions and whatnot with getting their AIRO dashboard up and running, just send me a DM in Telegram. I'll try to get to you when I have the opportunity, and then we'll get you up and running. Let me see. I don't do long-term swing trades. Carrie, yeah, send me a message as well. Yeah, so you're saying, Karina, you're saying you have a 1 hour sell alert on German 30. We're in a big uptrend, but this appears to be like the top of a run. You see the gap here? Most of the time, price likes to fill that gap and then move wherever it's going to move. So there's no, I don't see any alerts on the German 30 on the 1 hour. Maybe I read something else. I'll show you how to set that up in a bit. Chris, maybe we'll do it on the call because some people just haven't had success setting it up. German 30. See, I like it short because there's a lot of room to the downside. A lot of room to the downside. So let me check. Good old DAX. See if I can do something for you guys. You're going to have to pardon all the indicators on my screen. You know what I love about AIRO is that it gets rid of the vast majority of all the stuff that I use. I just use other stuff as well in Confluence to confirm things. But I try not to make it too complicated. Because when you're trading, you can make things so complicated that you're no longer profitable. So give me something here. Al should be back in a little bit. So yeah, here's where.
There you are. Actually, I'm back. I'm going to try and what I'm going to do. I'm just going to paste it in the. If I can paste it in the chat box. Let's see if I can do that. I'm not sure I can do that. It's not.
I don't know if you
Bill
can.
kind of moved it. Bill kind of moved it on me, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to.
Oh no.
So it's there, but it's kind of buried in there. Yeah, I'm not. I can't. Seem like I can't paste anything in there.
No.
Let's see. Let me see if I can. Give me some more time here. I'll see if I can.
Yeah, you're fine, man.
The link to get it to them here. I'll show people how to find it. It's kind of buried in here, but we'll get there.
So, I love this question, Carrie.
Love
this question. Yeah, the great Al. Great question, Carrie. How far back do you go when you're drawing your trend lines? As far back as you can get a hit. So I'm looking for. Oh, sorry. I guess there's more than one Carrie. So here. This is what I was looking for, right? I was looking for a strong trend line. I'm going to get rid of all these other lines because it's going to make what I'm doing a little bit too convoluted. So what I'm looking for is top and bottom and bottom, okay? So if I wanted to see kind of what was going on, even on GBP NZD, if I wanted to draw a trend line, you could draw from here to here, right? And then you can kind of, I can see the lines before I draw them just because of the volume of trend lines that I've drawn on over the last little bit, right? Like, this will be interesting because this is like, so you have your rundown, you have your consolidation, your trend line is breached, it comes back and tags it and then takes off. It's like a pass and then check and then breakout. So if I was to draw here, I would go from bottom to top and then top to bottom. And that's the wedge. So if you want to do wedges, you could do that. If you want to do trend lines, you could do this. You can go, most of the time, you just go and check what your range is on your screen, like how far back you can see. This one's a little higher than I like, so I would actually do it this way. Watch this. All right, now let's go make some money after this. I've done enough drawing, right? So, and sometimes it's good to extend your trend lines out, right? You extend your trend lines out, you might get another trade off of them. So this may look messy, right? But when you pull your trend lines out more, you'll see there's more and more compliance as they come out. And on the lower time frames, price is going to intersect with this. No, this is there's one of the strategies that talk about wedges and stuff. I'm really getting some heat on this one. On this German. That's not part of the bag strategy at all. Bag strategy, basically your bounce, your arrow, your go. We're in the direction of the trend. We're getting a little bit of heat on this. 140 pips worth of heat. My stop loss is still above here. So if it comes back into there, then I'm going to go check my other charts real quick. Let's go see you German 30. I got carried away with trend lines. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? It might bounce here. If it bounces here, it's going to be another opportunity to enter. Let's go down to the 5. We were talking about Fibonacci retracements. So we can do Fibonacci retracement from this swing up to this swing down. So right now we're at 38.2. So price came down. It's retraced 38.2. About 50% is here. 60 is here, right? So if for any reason price really, it could bounce here, guys. We might have gotten in. Price might bounce here.
Okay, Matt, I think I'm ready for you whenever you're in a
okay,
good spot.
Yeah, I was just talking about German 30 and how we got a potential bounce that's going to be here. I'm still in German 30 trade. Don't trade the indices unless you got like $1,000 in your trading account. Not recommendations. It's just like you're going to get it takes a significant amount of your margin just to put one position. And if you put more than one position, it eats it up pretty fast. and the Dow is like $180 of your margin for 0.01. So give me just a sec. I'm going to let you share your screen. You found it, so I think we're good. But yeah, I'm looking for a bounce here. We're going to be taking some heat on this. Let me just make sure that my stop losses. See, there's no bounce. I'm just going to do one more thing. There's no bounce here. So this arrow, this bounce arrow go is invalid because we're counter trend. So we need to bring, I need to stretch my stop loss up here. And I need to make sure that it's on the other side of the trend line. Where's that trend line? It's on Trading View. Just a sec. On the other side. So this would be about where I'm thinking it's going to come. 15, 22, 1. So 15,221. 15,221. Yeah, so up here. So what's going to happen though, okay, guys, is if it makes it through here, okay, and if it makes it up to here, I'm going to want to be taking another position to the downside. And I'll take a double position if the arrow shows up. If I get a down arrow from here, I'm going to take another position to the downside so that I can get out of this drawdown here as much as I can. But we'll see. We need it to do this again, right? Before we take that double position. So it needs to come up, reject, and give us an arrow, and then we'll take it. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for this one. Give me just a sec, and then I'll let Al. All right, Al. Good to go, my friend. Sorry for holding on there. Let me make sure that you can share.
Yeah, make sure I can share, and then I will.
Let me see. All panelists. Yeah, you're good, man. I'm going to let you go for just a minute.
Okay. And so what this is going to do, basically what we need to do is go into your back office. In the back office, if you scroll down, anybody see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay. You'll see where you'll scroll down where it says resources and click on the little resource tab. And then you scroll down to where it says videos. Click on the videos. Now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. You have to come up here. You'll see at the top, you'll see where it says share me, public share and videos. Click on the share with me. Click on that tab. And you'll scroll down and you'll see that the Hawkeye calculator right here, click on that, and then right click on download, and then you'll see the download folder here at the bottom of your screen. And you can download into an Excel file, or you can also do it with a Google Doc. Click on the download, and it will download. And then should come up, when you open it up, you should come up with something that looks like this. And then just keep in mind that with and there's some everything's blocked. And I do believe with the Excel version, but you can go and you can make another screen, and you can do some of your own. There's some things that are blocks that we don't, and we'll be updating this as the prices change with the calculator. But there's a little drop down arrow. As you come up here, you'll see some little pop-up windows that tell you select it. So click that. There's a little drop down arrow. Drop it down, and then here's all your different pairs. And let's say you're looking at, let's just say you're going to look at the euro yen. Click on the euro yen, and you put in your account size and your trading account size. Or you could go to one of those other little tabs. If you have like a tracking, Excel tracking, you can go and have it automatically just default to whatever you want. But just start with whatever your account balance is. This is your standard risk. Standard risk is 40 pips. I've been using 15 pips. So if all you do is type in 15, And you'll see when you change this, look at the lot size. When I change this from 40 to 15, you're going to see I'm going to be able to take a lot bigger lot size. So once I click on that, 15, you can see my lot size changed. My risk is still the same. And so this tells you that basically with the 15 pip stop, you can take a larger lot size. So I can take a 1.4, 8.14 lot size. If I'm at a 40 pip stop, I can only take a 0.05. So basically I can almost do almost three times the lot size. You're still risking the same amount. You're just tightening up your stop. And so what we've been doing a little bit on the 730, especially during the London session, that's where the 40 pip and 20 pip target, 40 pip stop was originated because of trading pretty much just during the London session. Well, since the AIRO came out and we're trading through different sessions, I'm finding out that these zones are a lot tighter. So you can use a tighter stop, but then use a smaller target. And usually what I've been doing is I've been using a 15 pip stop, and rather than a 20 pip target, I'm using a 7 pip target. And I'm just going for, again, twice the stop for the target, but I can use a larger lot size. So rather than going for 20 pips, I go for 7 or 10 pips. And so you're getting the same amount of return, but you're getting in and out of the trades a lot faster, a lot sooner. You may leave more on the table, but you're still getting your you're not in the trade as long, and you're still making the same profit that you're looking for. But there's some little notes about how to use it. So keep in mind, we do have some indices. So if you little pop-up window, if I scroll over uh, uh, these yellow areas are the ones that you can change. But basically scroll over it and it tells you, like, if you're using the indices like the US Tech, you're looking at 5 minutes, 5-minute chart, and the standard lot size risk would be 100. So you put 100 in here. And then that would be if you're doing let's see if I have the indices here. I think I do. Like the US Tech, if you're using the S or the NASDAQ, 100 pip stop, this would be your lot size for, again, your 2% risk over your $1,000 account, risking $20 with this lot size with a 100 pip stop. And all these are all set up for what the values of these pairs are in US dollars. And so that's why this will automatically adjust. If you see, this will, as I change the pair, like the to US yen, you'll see it, watch the standard value, this should change. And see it goes from standard value, rather than being $10, now it's $9.59. And if you look at the US yen over here on the US yen, you'll see it's $9.59. So these are all just what will change as we need to adjust them. But so you don't have to really worry about that. But that's why this will default to whatever pair you put into that. And so, like I said, I'm going to do it one more time so you can go through it. So you're going to go to.
That's awesome.
So you're going to go back to your account, and you're going to scroll down to the resource tab. And the resource tab, got to make sure it doesn't keep clicking away here. Resource tab, go down to videos and click on video. Come up here to where this will pop up, share with me. Click on the share with me folder. And then scroll down, you'll find the pip calculator, which is right down here, Hawkeye calculator. Just click on that, right click, download it, and then open it up. It should work for you. And that's how that works.
Awesome. So hope everyone hope everyone saw that. And
if you didn't watch the recording, they'll be there twice now.
Yes. But it's not rocket science.
And I'll go ahead and stop sharing.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I really appreciate that.
There you go, Matt.
Thanks.
I meant to do that in the last session. I forgot to do it, so I'm glad we had an opportunity to do it here.
Thank you. Hold on here. My little trading buddy came in.
The loud noises coming upstairs because.
And like I said, with that pip calculator, like I said, as Matt and I often say, is that your risk is basically your profit regulator. Tighter your risk, tighter your stop loss, the larger lot size you can take. But on the same token is you're more apt to get stopped out. So it just depends on how much wiggle room you want to leave it. And usually if with a lot of these really tight ranges, if you get the alert and or if you're only going for 5 pips, oftentimes when you get that alert, even if it's a contra trend trade, oftentimes you can still get that 5 or 7 pips out of it. And generally speaking, when I take the trade, we're usually in and out within 20 minutes. We're usually out of that trade on the average. If it doesn't work out within 20 or 30 minutes, you may want to rethink about just maybe getting out of the trade and waiting for the next one. You shouldn't have to be waiting for hours and hours and hours. And sometimes if you just let it go, it will do that. But more often time, if you're in the right time of the day for the trades to be alerted and taken, you can generally, if it doesn't hit your target, you have 5 or 7 pip move within 30 minutes, 20 minutes is pretty much the average. I've gone as 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour is not unusual. But usually if you're not out of the trade by that time, then something's probably not quite right. And so take it away, Matt.
Nice. Well, someone said NAS. I'm like, well, let's go check NAS. Looks like there was no bounce, right? So there's no bounce, but you did have that really powerful move up. Let me see if I can bring my screen in a little bit for people to be able to see effectively. So that's the second arrow on the 1 minute money zone breakout. Still getting some heat on German 30, so I need to keep my eyes on that. Willie, did you get everything you do you know how to get that spreadsheet now after going over it twice? If you don't, send me a message in Telegram and we'll go through it again. Perfect. Let me get that for you. That thing is just going right to the moon. There's no spot for an entry. So let's do a little bit of analysis there on German 30 while I'm waiting for any more questions or check in. I think we're outside of the counter trend trade and I also don't like NZDJPY right now because it's hold on. I think the back, look at that thing go, man. That's making a new high. Check this out. Boom. That's actually pretty good. We'll see how German ends up. So NAS 100, let me go do some higher time frame stuff, like I said. I don't do a lot of higher time frame stuff with what do we got, NAS? Oh yeah, US 100, not NAS here. Holy sugar. Look at that thing go. Remember I was talking about extending those trend lines? Check this. You can like, still super interesting. Anyway, let's do some higher time frame stuff now. So this is the first thing I see. Not sure if I like this one better. I don't like this bottom, but it'll do. So this is your wedge on US 100, right? You have a big long run up. You got your wedge. It could, since it broke to the top and it seems to be having some gas, it could go as far as here. It could go up to 1367.9. 13,673, around there somewhere. But for the sake of target wise, I would want it to, I would hit somewhere here. I wouldn't wait for it to try to make a new high. Most of the time it's going to make a new low here, but it's going to come up and try and challenge it some way, shape, or form. So we'll see if we have that. Wasn't what I wanted. Give me a second. It's being difficult this morning. There. How about that? That's where I think it might go. Perfect, Willie. We'll chat later. German 30 still messing around. Okay, you go eat, boy. What do we got here? All right, German 30. I'm going to hop out of this. We're going to go to German 30 real quick. I saw some movement. Just trying to see here. What do we got? We got a sell. It's been a more or less messy morning for the indices, at least in my view. Let's see. On the 5, it's pretty deep. I want to see what the retracement value of that is from the run up. I'm going to do that on TradingView. Give me a sec. So here's the fun part: is where do you start your run, right? Where do you consider it to be the bottom of the run? For me, I'm thinking this is pretty much the start of this big move up. So we can do something with the Fibonacci, tools, the retracement tool. You can go from here to the top of the move. Now we're 50-60%. I don't like it because that's a high probability reversal zone I still think it might come down to 61.8, which is going to get us our target. But it's playing around too much right now. The way to achieve success with the bag is to take a volume of trades. Use the same system, same trading thing over and over and over again. Oh, check this out. There's a wick over here. Interesting. You probably can't see it though, but there's a wick here. The more we're getting into it, I keep on moving my camera down because that's where the other setup is. Okay. Let's check this out. Taking some real heat on that one. It went right through that zone that we had up there. Let's see on the lower time frame. Love working from home. The wife treats me like a king. I got pancakes, blueberry, coffee. It's great. Oh, thank you. So, sorry about that. I forgot that I was muted. Thanks for pointing that out there, guys. You guys were pretty quick on that. Yeah, actually, the pancakes look really nice. Yeah, no, I'm seeing German 30 catching some momentum. So, like I said, this is this game plan. Okay, this is gonna blow most of the money management system out of the water. Officially, this would have been a stop out, right? We would have gotten stopped out, and we would have lost that trade. What I'm doing in this scenario is I'm going to be taking it to this trend line. And if for any reason, well, actually, hold on a minute. I'm going to try something. I almost want to take it to the trend line and then reverse my position once it gets to the trend line. Because I have a very high probability. This might not work out. Okay, guys. So this is not financial advice. We're going to look at doing something here. This is me getting myself out of a precarious situation. So we'll see what happens. With just my luck, it's not going to hit the trend line, but we'll see. 15 to, what is it? 15,220 is that 61.8 retracement. So this is going to be fun. Come on, guys. You in for the ride? I'm gonna re-explain what I'm doing, just so everyone's on the same page. This is going to be 15 to 20 is my target. Okay. So I got double the position. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to get rid of some lines. Here's 0. This one. Cool. This is all I wanted to see. So here's your 100%. If it breaks there. Okay. Here's your 50% retracement of this run down. It's come up 50% and rejected. If it gets to 61.8, it might bounce off this trend line. If it does, that means it's going to bounce off of this trend line. And this one, that's a third hit. That means that that's either going to smoke right out there or it's going to come right down crashing. So that's kind of the setup. Just my luck that next candle's a red candle, so we'll see. Oh, Mark, I apologize. I'm not going to close Market Watch because I need to, but I can do that. Give me a sec here. That red zone is right gone. Aussie NZD, bounce, AIRO. Where's the next zone? Well. Next zone's up here. It's a 5-minute alert though. So it's potentially 10 pips if a person wants to take it. This is there would have been potentially a zone. Let's see what direction trend is in. We're in middle zones. There's lots of room in between. And this is probably a 60. No, I went against. So what I did, I'll show you. This is not financial advice, no recommendations or nothing, okay? So on German 30, what I did is I took it long with I doubled the size of my position. So I went from, what is it? Boom. All right. So that was out of there. So it hit my target. Oh, I definitely put the wrong target. That was only $1. See what happens. Anyway, it's too late. There's not going to be enough move there. So give me a sec. Yeah, Carrie. You may not see all of the folders there if that does become a problem. Like I said, send me a Telegram DM and I'll find a way to get it to you one way or another. No, and I didn't get into another sell position. I actually took a buy, but it looks like I messed that up somehow. So where I'm waiting for this trend line. So instead of putting that box here, we're just here. I don't know why it's so opaque, I guess is the word. Give me a sec. What do you think? Just gonna hit that trend line right there. So I'm putting a lot of faith on one thing. Okay, Al's gonna laugh at me too because he knows exactly what I'm looking at. But I'm looking for this to create an energy point. So 61.8 and the trend line. Okay, this creates a really powerful potential, either reversal or continuation. Whatever this currency pair is going to do, or whatever this indice is going to do, it's going to do at this time here at that little box. So I'm just going to go as we're sitting on our hands and knees. Daniela, yeah. Thanks. Let's see. Any of your questions, please put them in the Q&A section so that we can address them accordingly. You see the W pattern, eh? Right here. I don't have ink to go anymore, so I can't draw on my charts very well. Let me see if I can. Al, do you happen to know if we can draw? There's a drawing tool in MT4? Or anyone else in the chat maybe that's more familiar with the MT4 setup? I'm just trying to find.
I was trying to find my microphone.
Oh, you're fine.
So what was the question about?
I just want to draw. I want to know how to draw on MT4.
You may be able to do it on the Zoom via the Zoom.
Okay.
There's a drawing tool on the Zoom.
Let me see.
Gotta have to find it though. I'll see if I can. I'll look for it and see if I can find it for you.
Yeah. That's interesting.
There used to be. Well, there is on Trading View. You may be able to do it on Trading View.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it on Trading View. How about that?
Yeah.
That'll be easier. So I wanted to highlight the W. It's very clear. It's very, very clear. So let's do brush. I'll make sure it's the right color for what I want to do here. Yeah, we'll do it this way. All right. So hopefully, you got this, that, W, right? This W is actually a wedge inside of a wedge. Right? So this is cool. Give me a sec. Undo. So here's your W. And what did I do there? That was not intentional. See, one-click trading. Be careful. Don't just randomly click on one-click trading. It can be expensive. That was done in error, and I will own that. Give me just a sec here. Got the shivers. Still not super warm where we're at. Okay, so 5 minute. Looking for that bounce right here. Look how close that is, Al?
Mm-hmm.
The 61.8 and that trend line from up here.
Yep.
That's close. I'm expecting a rejection here.
This is on your
5
minute and your tax.
Yeah. I hit all of my other stuff. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Just basically, a lot of it says that it could potentially come down. So that's why I'm looking at that. I got a couple things that I look at. Like that 61.8 though. I've just seen it happen so many times. But yeah, I'm blowing the money management out of the water for this. So this is way too much risk into that trade. The proper thing would have been exiting once it broke this formation here. So if I can show you, let's blow this up real quick so I can show you where a proper exit would have been. I'll keep it on the 1 minute because it makes it easier. So if hindsight's 2020, right? It's always going to be 2020. I would be exiting at this break because that's the break of that wedge formation. There's a wedge formation right here. You see your M, boom, 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 or W, whatever you want to call it, W, whatever. There's there's a formation here. So there's a chart pattern there. Now let's try something else. How about this? Let's put a stick here. And boom. So somewhere in this area, we're going to have some action happening. Yep. Let's see. Oh, some people have their hands up. If you have your hand up and you want to actually ask a question, it's just best to put it in the Q&A section if you can see it. Hey, thanks for that, Don. I didn't know that. So Don is telling me that there is just a sec here. I just want to get out of this trade properly. That's all. I'll slide this over. How about that? You know, hindsight is always 2020. Gotta be more careful. But yeah, this is where this trend line would have been, right? That trend line here, that's a solid trend line. Once it broke there, I should have been out of the trade. So now to recover this, we need to wait for the confirmation, which is an arrow to the downside, a bounce, an arrow to the downside, and then I'll put 2 times the position that I put to get out of there faster. So it would only have to come up to like here or somewhere, and I can get out. Robert, yeah, if you're still on the call, send me a DM directly, and that way I don't get it. It doesn't get lost in the AIRO bag chat. Just want to make sure that we that no one feels like they're being ignored. I need to get a better camera. How about that? Let's see, what do we got here, time frame wise? All right. Let's see if we got another potential setup here. Right now, I'm just exclusively focused on the German 30 for obvious reasons. So, like I said, multitasking is not one of my fortes, my strong sides. Yeah, Brian, we can look at UCAD.
Looks like we got an alert on the New Zealand CAD as well, 15-minute chart. I don't know if it's a doable thing or not. I'm looking at it.
On what one, Al? Sorry?
New Zealand CAD. We have an alert on the New Zealand CAD.
Oh, okay. Well, we had some big news, right, for the CAD, so not surprised by that.
It's an up arrow and an uptrend. And let's see what we have here.
Let's go see UCAD. Oh, UCAD's got some shape going.
Yeah, it's on a little bit of a pullback right now, but that might just give us a better entry to it. Let's see. See if we have much room do we have to the zone.
You mind sharing your screen for a little bit, Al? Just so I can
okay.
Swallow my pancakes real quick.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Stop.
Give me just a sec.
Stop. Okay, and you stop sharing? Yep. Let me get my charts up here. And we're going to share this one. Okay, right now we had a 15-minute alert on the New Zealand CAD. We had the alert right, actually it was right at the, we actually had, on a 5-minute chart, we had another arrow right about where my line is. Now this one looks like it closed. I'm not sure where this one closed. Let me see here. Okay, this arrow, on this arrow, it closed right up at this point right here. Now, if we go to a 5-minute chart, we back it off to a 5-minute chart, you'll see that we actually had a up arrow on the 5-minute, or a little bit earlier, right on this, at the close of this candle. And it actually is pulled back right now to that same level. It pulled back, and now the question is, do we want to take it long or not? New Zealand CAD, let me just see what the strength of the CAD is. The CAD is weak and the New Zealand is stronger, so it would be looking to the upside. I don't know that we have enough room to take the trade. I usually like at least 15 pips. If I'm taking a scalp on a 5 or 7 pip target, I want at least a 15 pip ranged for a target. And right now from here to here, we're looking at 11 pips. It's a little bit weak. Our moving averages are in the right direction. We did get a bounce, a retest. So we have a little bit of a trend line coming from this pivot to somewhere around in here. Not really liking this trend. This is a really shallow trend line. Don't really like this one too much. Let me go back to a 15-minute chart. See if we can find, yeah, I like that a little bit better. So here would be here's a pivot low. And here's a little bit higher low. Here's a higher low. It still has a lot of room to the downside. I would like to see a little bit more of I'd like to see a little bit more of a slope to the moving average, to this trend line. I'm not really liking this as a trend line. It's rather shallow right here. So right now it's pretty much ranging between the two red and the green zone. And the whole range of this zone is, you only have from the red to the green, you have 26 pips, which is, that's basically the range which we're looking at on a normal basis for a target. And so right now I'm going to stay out of this trade. I don't really like it. It's just not enough room. It's not enough volatility. Plus we're getting to near the 11 o'clock hour and things start slowing up between 11 and 1 or 2 o'clock. Things tend to start slowing up a little bit. So I'm going to stay out of this trade. We have a British US trade. Let's see what that one looks like. British US. Come over here to the British US. I'm going to just clear off all these objects. So let me start for a clean slate here. Let's clear all these off. And we're going to see where we're at here right now. So we're on a 15-minute chart. Scroll in, see where we are with our trend. And right now it looks like we have 3 red and we have 2 green. So it is relatively in a downtrend, although we have looks like we may have lost a green zone. So this looks like it's heading in more into a downtrend, coming right into this green zone. Let's see here. I'm going to take this one off. Here would be a target. Here's the money zone. We're getting near the end of the money zone range, so things are starting to slow down quite a bit. We had some good trades earlier today. You can see we had 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 profitable trades, all kind of scalping, all 5 or 7 pips. So I'm not going to take any more trades for the day. But anyway, we have this this zone here to here, and just not really like it. We have all our moving averages are pointing to the downside. We have one more red zone than a green zone, so it is in a downtrend on this 15-minute chart. But I'm not, it's right now just going sideways. It's in the middle of the zone, not enough room either way to take the trade. So again, we'll pass on that one. Let's see what other one we have into. Look at the Aussie US, see if that's doing anything. And we'll scroll out, see whether we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Looks like we have 2 zones in the red, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the green. It is in an uptrend. That's kind of the top of that one. Here's the bottom of this one. We're in an uptrend, put an up arrow up in it on the green zone. If we come back tomorrow and we see that there's not a green zone there, we'll know that the zone was taken out, or there may be another green zone formed up here. But this is the last one that we have for today so far. Scroll out. I like looking at the candle formation too. So I like putting the candles up. That way I can also see whether or not, even though it's a red candle, I can tell whether that's any, on a normal candle formation, I can see whether it's either an up candle, a red candle or a green candle. The white ones are basically red candles. But as with this indicator, you're going to have either all up, even though it may be a bearish candlestick, It's still going to show red just because of the program that we're using with this arrow. Keep that in mind. But I do like to see whether it's an up arrow with a green candle where it's consistent, where it's actually the green is showing that it's in an uptrend. And right now it's looking like it is. We did get a nice little bounce off of here. We don't have any arrows to speak of. Let's go to a 5-minute chart and see if there's any arrows to look at here.
Yeah, we have one on the upside, eh? But
We have one. This on the 5-minute chart. This is a bounce arrow. This would be off a 5-minute, but that's way out of the chute already. It is crossing over the moving average. Aussie US. That's nothing real. On the lower time frames, on the 5 and the 15, the Aussie's stronger. So this does have some room to the, if we were to get an arrow, it might have some room to the upside, but I'm not sure there'd be enough for that. Now that would give us 16 pips.
could be 10 pips, but
Yeah. We are in a little bit of, we did break this high. So this was, this little pivot here was broken off of this candle. This one closed above it.
S&P sell at the 1 minute. Let's see if we can get one more. If I can have one set up here.
But we really don't have an alert to I mean, I like seeing the alerts and then seeing what the price action looks like at that time and see. But right now, this is way too far out of the chute on this 5-minute. We're already way past the. Here's where the alert was. It's already 19 pips out of that area where that 5-minute candle was, that 5-minute arrow was. It does have. I would not be surprised to see a arrow get generated, but you're going to be awfully close to the top here.
Makes sense. So S&P, there's no bounce, there's no zone, so that's a
US
red
30.
flag.
Yeah, US 30.
100. Well, US 30 on the 5.
Yeah, US 30. Let's see what we got here.
I didn't get an alert on that.
I should be able to have my new dashboard up this weekend. I didn't want to. I talked to support the other day, and
you're out of most of your trades.
Well, I'm in my gearbox. I didn't want to close down my VPS while I was in my gearbox trades.
Yeah. Well, gearbox got out of a lot of the drawdown there. Sometimes, gearbox. Sometimes it just takes a while. You know, you're not always going to be making profit every week. You're going to be stuck in stuff, and that's just the reality of trading. You know, some people are very impatient.
Well, it's interesting with my gearbox. I was in a pretty heavy drawdown for the last 3 weeks, but every week it's still closed out. This closed out trades to the profit. So, and now that the drawdown's becoming more in line, I'm a lot happier camper. But no, it got to 25-30% drawdown.
Yeah, and I know people that were in like 40%. So. Yeah. 40-50%, and it was mainly because they were in 3 currency pairs that were highly correlated or inversely correlated. So when they moved, they all moved in the same direction. So there is Tyler is implementing a fix. It's a very complex one, but it's gonna limit that issue from occurring again where you're trading highly correlated pairs. Myself, I'm just going to the currency correlator or the currency correlation that's found in
FX book.
My FX book, and I'm just looking for anything that's 75% above or 50% below correlated, and I'm not trading those currency pairs. I'm just using one of them, and I'll use the one that has the highest ADR.
This is what he's talking about. If let's say you have in the FX book, looks like an annoying phone call. In my FX book, there is let's see if I can find it here.
Just up a little bit.
Here.
Scroll up.
Scroll up. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, all the way up.
I can't find my scroller here. There it is. Okay. Is
and then all the way at the top, correlation.
Oh, correlation. Here we go. Thank you. Here's a correlation. And this has all the major currency pairs. And you can go and look for And what I do is I look for something that's 85% correlated. And if it's 85% or more correlated, so if I look over here to, say we were looking at one of the problem children that we had was the CAD Swiss.
Right.
And look, if you're in a CAD Swiss trade, you can see that it's 86% correlated with the Aussie yen. So what I did with my gearbox is that as I was in the CAD yen, I was not in an Aussie yen, so I just took that one off the chart. I didn't even let that be a part of a player in case I wanted it to be triggered. I didn't want that to be triggered when it was equally correlated with something that was already in strong drawdown. So I've come over here. This one's 90% correlated, so I pulled off the euro yen. I didn't let that trade against it. Here's another one, 94%. I pulled off the British yen. You can see there's a combination of, there seems to be a theory here with the yen,
Right.
with this pair. Here's US yen. So when I was in a CAD Swiss trade and it was in a heavy drawdown, I made sure I didn't get into a drawdown with something that was correlated with it. So I want to make sure that Gearbox didn't take another trade that was correlated. So I just removed those from the mix with the Gearbox. And then once that one gets cleared out, I'll put those back on again and do the same thing again. Once they get the software set up, the software will probably say, okay, if you're at a CAD yen or a CAD Swiss, it won't, the software is going to, they're trying to get it set to where it won't allow you to take a correlated pair.
Right.
So just, but that takes some programming. That's what they're working on.
It's a pretty hefty, complicated thing to incorporate. But for now, what I'm doing is if I'm running pound yen, which I like pound yen better than euro yen and other things, I'm not going to run pound yen and euro yen and USD JPY and Aussie yen. I'm not going to run all those on Gearbox because they move so similarly. So if one of them goes for a swing like it did, guess what? All 3 or 4 of them, they're all going to go for a swing in the same direction for about the same amount of pips. So,
and you can use the same theory when you're trading with the AIRO too. Is if you see a lot of these come up, a lot of times you'll see 3 or 4 come out at the same time. Well, more than likely they're going to be correlated, and you'll see that the price, the charts look an awful lot the same. So you don't want to take them both. Either you're going to win big or you're going to lose big. That's kind of how I say. So you don't want to be taking correlated pairs unless you want to just add the risk or accept the fact that you may get, if it goes against you, you're going to get double the whammy, but you also get double the profit if you see some pairs are correlating and feel really good about the movement.
Yes. And someone did mention that the German 30 was under the 1520 level finally once again. It is probably going to give us an arrow down because there's a red zone up here. Where are you? Oh, you're on US 30?
Yeah, I'm in the US 30. Yeah, there's a US 30 alert right here with a buy. And so that was, here was where the arrow is. I'm on a
second arrow.
That's a 1 minute. I was on a which chart am I on? I'm on a 5 minute chart. Okay, yeah, good. I'm on the 5 minute chart. So here's where the arrow was. Here's where the open of the candle. So this was the entry to go long. You can see it's on a pullback, but you also see it's coming right into this trend line. And it's also coming right into the 60 or the 200 moving average. So I would say this, if you wanted to try and take this thing long, now would be the time to be doing it. I'm not going to take it, but then you could have your
that's
stop.
A nice bounce. That's a nice bounce.
It's a nice bounce. I would make sure your stop is below the pivot of this candle right here. And so that would be your risk. So right now you'll be looking at a risk of, let's say you got in here, you probably would be filled up there. Your risk is, looks like 66 to, you're looking at 34, looking at a $45 risk for a potential of a, let's see, 66 to roughly about 40 pip risk for a 40 pip target. So
cool. One quick thing, and I don't want to interrupt, but I'm looking. So German 30, I put a buy in. for double the size that I had as a sell.
German
So
30.
yeah, because it's bouncing off the top of that trend line I had originally drawn. So
you put a buy in?
yeah, I put a buy in because I want to. I know there's that big red zone there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, but that zone was never so big prior to. There was actually. Are you on 1 or 5? Oh, you're on 15.
Oh, there we go. Let's go on 5. That should be on 5 with the indexes.
Yeah, so because officially we have a bounce at AIRO, and there is that zone here where it's consolidated a little bit. So I'm just trying to recover some of the potential loss that I had with that first one. I should have been out of it earlier, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looks to me like we have 3 red zones, 1 green zone.
Yeah, looks like it's down again, eh? Because that's a strong zone.
And we have a strong trend line. We have a trend line coming from, we have it up here. Here's our trend line. Here's our first hit. So anchor, here's a hit. Here's a hit. Here's your trend line.
Awesome. I had my wrong charts open on my trading view. I thought I was on German 30, but I wasn't. And so when I did my analysis, good job. Sorry, Al, go ahead.
That's right. And so here's your trend line. So we're in a downtrend. We got 3 red. Right now we came up. This is almost like a bank induction move here. It's got a strong. Now this arrow did not generate a candle that went up into the zone. Came over about 15, 20 minutes later. But it came up into that zone right now. So we have another low wedge from down here to the bottom.
Just trying to see where that.
And this is the playground that it's looking in right now. Here's the money zone. Here's the high of the money zone. Here's the low of the money zone. So I'll put it here at the bottom. And we have the top up there. So we're going to put another arrow line. This is our playground. This is the daily playground right into here where between these blue lines are. And you see right now it's right in the middle of this whole range. So it could go either way. It could go up, it could go down. But right now it's about 50% of the retracement. So we have from this angle to here to the retracement. Let's see what the retracement is.
Josh got 20 pips on EuroCAD. The guy crushed it.
And we came up, here's the move down, here's the retracement. It's right in the 62 to 50% range. Let me scroll out a little bit here.
You know, the one thing I should have noted is that you don't want to be trading the German 30 at the end of the New York session. You know, they're already in bed. They're shut down, right?
That is true. That is
so
true.
that would have been a warning sign. That would have been a warning sign.
So right now it came up to the retracement. Now I'm not seeing any real clear candle formation that would tell me that the fact you had about 3 hits right at this area, and then it was rejected. But we have a little zone right here. We need to get through that. If you can get a bounce off of here, it's either going to bounce, close, come back up, retest the 38, and then come back down, or it's going to bounce and retest this area. Either way, right now it's inside this range, and that range is getting tighter and tighter and tighter until it breaks out of this little wedge right in here.
Yeah, so she's right in the middle.
And so the further you come to the right, the tighter it's going to be, the less of a target you're going to be able to take in order to get a profit. Now
but a more accurate one, right?
A little bit more accurate. We also see where it's making new higher. Here's a high. Here's a higher high. So there is another little trend developing from this area right here.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's your price channel right there. So
There's your
whatever,
price
if
channel
it
right there.
breaks, if it breaks your top of your price channel, boom, it's gone. If it breaks the bottom of that price channel, boom, you're gone.
And
So-
now Matt was mentioning about energy points. Right here's your energy point. You have a trend line coming down. You have a trend line coming up. You've got 3, and you have a moving average right here, or a Fibonacci. So this area right in here is a strong energy point. If it breaks through that, it's going to probably give you some clear idea of what the direction is going to be.
Yeah, it never hit it though. It just kept on going right
Yeah,
down.
it never hit it, but it may come back down here, come back up, and retest it.
Because it could do it on the 50 too.
Yep, it could.
So instead of 61.8, it could come down a bit more and do the 50.
I do like
But
this.
It's not a great example of a great
right
trade.
If you can look and see where we have Fibonacci line, a trend line, a trend line. This little point right there is a what I think we would consider this to be an energy point right in there. And this would be another one here where the Fibonacci intersects with the trend line. You could have this one right here as another energy point.
Just going to see something.
Horizontal and a trend line all intersect at the same place. Go ahead.
Right. No, that's good. That's real good. Let me see something. I'm going to do a 1 minute pitchfork, see if I can find a better exit to get me out of the mess I got myself into. Let me see. What do we got? No, yeah, that's all right.
So
One
right now
more
we're getting a little
thing.
bit of a bounce off of here. We'll see what happens with this. We're on a 5 minute chart. We'll see how this candle closes and see if we can get a bounce off of this. This could give us a little fractal. Here's a higher low. Here's a lower low. But now we'll see if this thing will give us a little wick down to give us some higher lows on the other side of it. Just like on this candle right here, here's a low, here's a higher low to the left, another higher low to the left, and then a higher low to the right, higher low to the right, and then there's the move up. This will be a fractal right in here.
Yeah, I'll note that down for later. German 30, don't take it after after 11 o'clock or whatever. What time is it now? I've got a.
Right now it's
I got to cut her.
11:15.
I got to cut her out at 11:30. So I think we're gonna shut it down at 11:30 potentially.
Usually after about 11 o'clock, it's time to start.
It dries
winding down.
up, man.
Yeah,
it dries up.
for the people are starting to go to take early lunches, and they're getting so usually between about 11 and 1:30, 2 o'clock ish. That's not the prime time to be trading and taking trades. The market's already opened. The positions are being taken, and it's just kind of becomes somewhat range bound.
Yeah.
No real clear direction as far as.
Yeah, not so much. I think the ego got the best of me. I didn't want to take a loss.
Well, Well, and that's what happens with so many of us. You don't want to take the loss. Sometimes, why do we take bigger losses than what we need to? But we'll cut the profit short. Let the losses run, and that's just human nature. We don't want to lose.
Yep.
And so I usually
That's
take profits early, and mainly because I don't want to give back profits.
no, exactly. Well, there's a lot to do with the human's physiology, like how we actually think, you know?
Yep.
Like we think in a lack, what's the proper word? I'm gonna butcher this because I'm not an academic by no means. I'm just a glorified computer nerd. But it's like the fear of losing overwhelms the other side of you, which is the one that, like, you're scared to lose what you have and give up what you have to obtain what you could have. And that's what holds a lot. Yes, it's called loss aversion, right? That's what it is. Look, we got smart people here, man. Yeah, it's loss aversion. So it's a psychological thing. I don't know exactly all the insides. Almost. Well, FOMO is just the fear of missing out. It's not the fear of giving up what you have, right? Giving up what you have is kind of a big deal. Like the fear of losing what you have. So it holds a lot of people back. And yes, exactly. Mohsen, you're right on point, man. You value your 10 euros more than your 100 in profit, even though it's exactly the same amount. And that's how they get you in marketing too. Like, they know how your brain works. So,
Now, this thing looks like this could be a pass and check where we just got to close below the moving average. Now we have to
look
remember
at that thing.
we have this. Remember, the second pit, though, the first hit of the trend line is a major point. So if I were to be looking at this trade, if I were to get into this trade short, my profit would have to be right here with these wicks. So we came back down. It broke the trend line. It closed below this trend line. Now it's coming up to retest it, and it's also going to be retesting this percentage of moving average. So right now we had here's our trend. Here's our Fibonacci down, came back up, and it gave us several hits right here, and then it broke, and now it's breaking the trend line. Now the question is it going to come back and retest this part of the Fibonacci, which is the zero line? And it could very well be. It looks like we have our moving averages in the right direction. We have a 200 moving average. This one came up, hooked down, couldn't cross over. And you can see if you look at the moving averages, if I move this over to where the moving average, this arrow moving average is, and if I align the top of it, you can see it broke that trend. That means this trend of the moving average is still in play. I'd be looking at this to be a possible short in this case. If I did, I wouldn't be going for a whole lot. I'd only be going, so here's a break, come back up. If it gets a break below this area right here, this would be the next area of a target. So if I were to take this trade short,
we might get an arrow, man.
You might get an arrow on this one. But if I were to take this trade short, I would be taking my profit right around in this area. This would be kind of a scalp. And we'd be looking at, so that's a nice little retracement. That's 91 to 82.
Yeah.
And my target's going to be 5 pips. Modify. We'll do 10.
$5, right?
Or $5, yeah. So let's see, our entry was at 15,187, call 188, 15,183, 15,183. And my stop was going to be, I'm going to give it 83 to 15, 1. No, just get it up here somewhere. 97. Set my target. There we go. And now I can move my target down. I would probably want to keep it. Let's see. I would. I'll probably just keep it right about where it is right now. Where my stop? My target is. Where's my target?
Right.
15,183. Where's my target? I didn't get my target in there. Take
Let's see if we
profit.
get
15,183. 15,180. Oh, it's probably right behind this blue line. I'll bet. There it is. There it's hiding.
Yeah, it was hidden.
So I'm going to move it right down to, put it right there. And we'll see what
Boom.
happens. But I like this. We had a trend line, anchor. Here's the hit. Here's the break of the trend line. Came back up, retested it, and I got back in. And now we're just following this little trend. And I can put my, there's a nice Fibonacci retracement. And we'll see where it goes. I'm not going to give it a lot of room. I'm going to try and catch it before it gets into there because it could, here was an origin of this move up. Here's this nice big extended range candle coming up. Here's where it launched. So there's probably some buyers down around in this area. And I want to be out before it gets into where the body of these candles are.
Oh, Crystal wants to see USD Mexico.
Oh, I don't even have that on my chart.
No, I just I loaded it up just for her because you know.
You can take it away if you want anytime.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We'll do that for a little bit. We'll still watch this.
I'll watch this. You can take it away. I'll stop sharing.
Oh, I got it. I can stop you from sharing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's go check this out. You'll see my nice FOMO, desperation, loss, whatever. I'll work its way out. It'll work its way out one way or another. Type answer. Just clean this up. Doesn't help. I've been trading for 4 hours, right?
Here we just got a down.
Here's
arrow.
your sell.
Just got the sell in the 1 minute
Yeah,
chart.
bounce, sell, boom. So officially, I'm gonna. This is a way better one, but let's see if we can take this for a bit. I'm gonna run up close to my margin percentage. What do we got here? Oh, it's only 180, so we're good. This is one of the things you got to do when you're looking at that. I'm just trying to get out of that mess I put myself in. So basically, I got 0.03 to the downside and 0.02 to the upside. So we're gonna take this down to the green zone now that we have that arrow to confirm, right? So modify. This should.
We're just about to hit the German 30 target. There
it
goes.
You hit it. Boom. Well done. So 5174. I'm going to let this thing work its way out a little bit. I should have put a little bit bigger position so I can get out of that hedge I had, but I'll let it work its way down because that's your bounce. This is your arrow. This is your go. This is the room there. Let's just see if we still have the downtrend. Yeah, we're still in the downtrend. We're still fine. Oh, I thought you were laughing.
Oh, that was me just coughing. Allergies.
Yeah, me too. The Ottawa Valley where I live, it's a valley, and we have a lot of pollen. I feel it as soon as the snow melts. I feel it. So this is how a person gets themselves out of a mess. You don't over leverage. You always have to make sure that you have enough margin, right? You can't do this on a $200 account. So now we're getting into the place where I'm actually probably just going to take $10 on that one and open up a bigger position as soon as it comes down here.
And Matt, I'm going to go up and take off here. I got some things I need to get done here. So anyway, thanks for inviting me into the session, and everybody have a good rest of the day.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your guidance and your help and just everything you bring to the table every day.
Thanks.
I treasure our friendship.
And hopefully everybody was able to find that PIP calculator in the back office. If not, just let us know somehow, and we'll direct you to it.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
Yeah, we'll get you there. So anyway, so long, everybody. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see everybody. And you're always welcome into the Hawkeye session starting at 7:30.
Yep.
Check the Telegram for the link, and 7:30 Monday through Friday. We'll see you then.
All right. See you then, man. All right. Well, I am gonna eventually find myself out of this mess that I got myself into. But I do have a couple other things I got to do today. So I really appreciate everyone for showing up, and hopefully you got a couple nice trades. Hopefully you didn't end up with in a little bit of a mess like I did, but it'll work itself out, and it just takes a little bit more work then when your emotions get the best of you. And this is a good example. Give me just a sec. No, Bob. Absolutely no silly questions. Okay, it doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. See, hindsight's 2020. I was up $10 on this trade. I should have closed it out and then let the other one run. As soon as I have the option to close this one out with a little loss, I'm going to close it out and let the rest of the stuff go down. But you shouldn't see orange. Like, is this orange or is this, because I'm kind of color deficient? Is the official term for being struggling with colors. I do struggle with colors, so it's supposed to just be red and green. Oh, daily open. Oh, under daily open. All right, cool. So let me explain that to you. So the orange and the red, that's not alerts. So daily open, weekly open, that's the amount of pips that it's gone today. So for example, Aussie Swiss has moved 54 pips. Okay. Its average daily range over the course of the last 10 days is generally supposed to be 48. Okay. When it opened today, it moved 54. In the last 24 hours, this may be wrong. I'm going to confirm with Nate, but in the last 24 hours, it's moved 74 pips. So it's moved way more than it would have. Daily open is just basically from the open, how far did it move? Euro AUD just moved, man. That thing just went right out of there. This one, GCAD, hasn't moved. You know, it's only 7 pips away from where it started, but it's gone 95 pips for the average ADR for the last 10 days. So then from the weekly open, it's only moved 24 pips from the beginning of the week. So I hope that brings a little bit of clarity to your question there. I'm going to wait and see. Maybe we'll provide an update later on in the day, and you guys can see how I managed myself out of this mess, or whatever the outcome is going to be. All right. Well, I do have to go, but thank you so much for spending your morning with me. And like Al said, if you're up early in the morning and you want to check out the Hawkeye session, we are actually doing live trading from 7:30 a.m. Eastern time until 9. Monday to Friday. And then there's a New York session that starts from 9 o'clock and goes until generally about 12. But I don't trade past 11:30. So oh, you broke even, Carrie. Great. I'm really happy to hear that. So if you guys are in the German 30 trade, find a way to break even. Don't try to get profit. You know, it wasn't a great trade. So my mistake in that whole trade is taking the hedge. Taking the hedge is most of the time it's going to cost you. So, but I'm not down very much, like $40. So whatever. But have a great day, and we'll see you sooner than later. Bye, guys.